Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to thank everybody for coming. This is the Mahoning County Commissioners Hearing Room and its regular meeting number 36. Thursday, September 8th, 10 slightly after 10. And I want to tell you that Mr. Ditzler is not, Commissioner Ditzler is not here today. He's out of town, so you have with you Commissioner Trafficani and myself. Before we begin with public comments, we'd like to recognize Dwayne and Brenda and his staff as a resolution for World Suicide Prevention Month. And Dwayne, before we present you with this resolution, why don't you get up and talk to us a little bit about not only the need for more intervention with mental health and suicide and where they could go for this, because honestly, I'll wait till you talk before I say what I want to say, because your office is phenomenal. When they can't reach other people for this issue, for suicide, when you have a person calling, your office answers. I want to commend you for that. And you've helped me with many clients. But anyway, go ahead, you explain it.
Well, Commissioners, thank you for doing this. And we appreciate the support that our board gets from the Board of County Commissioners, because that's not true across the state. So we're very thankful. And Carol, Dave and Carol and Anthony will get calls, but we also, it's the other way, we'll call you for help and you all help us. But our board has taken over the Suicide Prevention Coalition, and unfortunately there were 30 people that took their lives since January of this year in Mahoning County, and that's a large number. One is too many, but 30 is really a large number. And doing the checking, we see that over 40% of those that have taken their lives are over 60 years old. So that's something that we need to address because people later in their lives, that should be the time when they're enjoying life and everything. And again, 40% of the 30 people have 60 years and over. In fact, 2 of the people were over 80 that had taken their lives. And, so these are issues that we're going to address. But the one thing that we're doing is the theme this year is creating hope through action. And we're working close with the media. I think we're very fortunate in Mahoning County. The media has been very supportive of this, and they address suicide in the way it should be addressed, and they don't glamorize it. They found after if a celebrity takes their life, that the number of suicides skyrocket because people copy that. We recently had a suicide in the valley, and working with the 2 TV stations and the Vindicator. They were sensitive. They always put the numbers for help there. So if someone reads it, they don't copy it, because sometimes the tendency, if they say suicide is contagious, because somebody may attempt. The thing is, are suicides preventable? Well, 50% of people that have taken their lives go to their primary doctor about 6 months before they take their lives with problems of depression or upset stomach or unable to sleep. So we're working with the doctors. Lee DeVite is with us today, and that's Brenda Heidinger. Lee coordinates our Suicide Prevention Coalition. And so we meet monthly or quarterly. We deal with issues. We try to get the word out. But again, all we want to do is promote that help is there. It's okay not to be okay. That's what we always tell people, and it's a tough time. It's usually suicide trends go up in the spring, and you think they go up on the holidays, but on the holidays there's usually hope and support and family around, so they go up in the spring. And we sort of saw the same trend on the pandemic. During the immediate pandemic, the suicide numbers reduced across the country and in Mahoning County. But I think people were home. People were taking care of people. When there's a crisis, people tend to pull together. Since people started going out again and stuff, we're seeing the suicide rates start to increase. So again, we have to always stay on this, and people can call 988 if they have an issue. And we're lucky in Mahoning County that Help Hotline was the suicide line and the information referral line. I always say every crisis call ends up in a referral, and most referrals end up in a crisis call. If you're an elderly person or you're a single mom and you can't afford to pay your electric bill, you're in crisis. So that's why it's important in Mahoning County. We have a blended agency, so we're very lucky. But again, thank you. Did you have some questions?
No, do you want Lee to say a few words on what?
Lee, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, we're just working hard, like Dwayne said, with the coalition and then our loss and DOS team that we developed in the past 6 months. We had a outpouring from the community, people that wanted to volunteer to be part of our loss team, which are volunteers that go out when we do get calls from the coroners about a suicide death. We'll send volunteers out to kind of meet with the families if there's a need. So we're in the process of getting that up and running. We have about 16 volunteers right now. So we had quite a few people respond from the community that were, really wanting to be a part of it. So we're just working hard with that and like Dwayne said, trying to see what we can do to do some preventative things.
And I'm glad Lee mentioned that in Mahoning County, the coroner is working very close with us, which again doesn't happen across the state. So the coroner's office will contact us if there's a suicide, and we'll have volunteers to go out. We don't want anyone to be alone if one of their loved ones are taking their life. If the volunteer shows up and there's family, or I always say if it's an Italian family, there's all kind of people around who will back off. But if they show up and someone's alone, we'll have a volunteer there to make phone calls and to help them. So the coroner works with us. We also are working close with the health department that you all set up the suicide fatality review. So Brenda and Lee and I are on that. So we're reviewing suicides that have happened to see if there's some warning sign, if there's something we could have done. And again, like with the trends, we're seeing that it's mostly elderly men that are taking their lives. So this is something we got to concentrate on to see, again, suicide's preventable because they found people that have survived, they're very ambivalent before they take their life. They're struggling for a reason to live. So one of the things we're trying to do is show that there's help out there. There's support around, because at that moment, things are so dark for them, they can't see anything else. So our job is to kind of open it up and show that there is support around them and there's people that care about them.
That's great. We appreciate that, because if we could prevent something by having a proactive approach to being there and seeing the signs through a family member that may call you, if they don't want to do anything else, at least call the mental health department, talk to you or your staff or Lee or Brenda, and try to find a way to get help prior to that, because suicide's it's masked, because you really don't know what an individual that's thinking of that is actually going to do, because they don't show that. That's their MO. They just don't show who they are and what they're going to do, and they don't brag about it. They just let it go and it happens. But it's a well thought out process for them. And that's mental illness. And I got to tell you, you and your staff, the mental health board, I have worked with you for years, as Anthony and Dave have, and I'm going to tell you what, it's barring none in the state of Ohio. I would put your board top of the list. Day and night, you could call. I mean, I have.
She has.
Day and night, and you have responded, and my clients, not my clients, but the people that I've had you call have had help on a Saturday night at midnight, on a Sunday morning. So these guys are 24/7. And I want everybody in Mahoning County to know that this department is a 24/7 department.
Thank you.
God bless you. Anthony, you want to say a few
Yeah, I
words
just wanted to
before
say,
we go?
nobody really signs up for a job to talk somebody off of a cliff. And particularly to prevent that, what I wanted to ask you, the 988, like who mans these calls? How does it work?
Right now, 988 is operated by Help Network in Mahoning County, and the state, it's a federal initiative, and the state of Ohio is doing their best to catch up to it. The state initiated it in July. So what we're blessed with in Mahoning County is help hotlines, not only a crisis line, but an information referral line. So they have all the information. Other parts of the state, they're two separate agencies. So the crisis line doesn't always have the resources to refer back. So it's manned by Health Network staff in Youngstown, and they cover Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana, and Ashtabula. And and what they predicted was a 40% increase when the calls, it's an easy number to remember. Right now, there's some issues in the state with 988 and 911, when to call, and it's transferred back and forth, but we never seem to have that trouble in Mahoning County. So we're trying to work it out, but
I want to commend you and your staff, Lee and Brenda. I mean, I've called you over the years, many, many years back. And some people were in a very bad situation, and you were always able to seem to get them into treatment and save a lot of lives. And I want to thank you again. I know I keep bringing it up, but you do a tremendous job, as Carol said.
So we want to present you with a resolution from the Mahoning County Commissioners. And if you want to go over it, Brenda, do you want to?
Brenda,
And
you
Lee?
want to come up?
I want to present you with a resolution from the Mahoning County Commissioners for World Suicide Prevention Month, September 10th, 2022. And congratulations again for a year of great support for our Mahoning County residents and also other residents of other counties that we've sent to you. So
Thank
we
you.
want to thank you. God bless you and your staff. Take care. Take care. There you go. Blending in. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Take care. Congrats. Thank you. So right now, we will entertain any public comments if there are any. If not, we'll go forward with our meeting. Seeing none, we'll go forward. Approval of the previous minutes of board meeting number 35, Thursday, September 1st, 2022, and approval of bills for payment.
Second,
So
so moved, second.
I said,
Okay, I'm sorry.
second,
Dave's not
roll call. You gotta
Commissioner
get used to this.
here. I know.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Legal notices number 1, human resources, Karen.
Okay, good morning, Commissioners, Nancy Audrey. This is to go out for advertisement for a countywide employee assistance program for the employees of the county. The timing of this couldn't have been even better. It wasn't planned this way, but everybody recognizes the fact that everybody has problems and issues. And this is just one more tool in the toolbox to try to get people help prior to them getting into a crisis situation. So thank you. We'll see what we do.
Thank you very much for that. Legal notices number 1. Do I hear a motion?
So moved?
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Journal entries number 1. Do I hear a motion?
So moved?
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number 2, travels, A and B. A is lead.
This is, can you hear me? Good morning. This is a conference that Dan and myself are going to attend in Baltimore for it's a combination of the National Lead and Healthy Housing Coalition and the National Environmental Health Association in the amount of $26.65, non-general.
All right, thank you. B is veterans, and I hear Felicia, are you on?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning. This is for a travel for one of our commissioners, Rod Hostler. He'll be accepting an excellence award from MOA, traveling to Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, travels A and B. Do I hear a motion?
So moved?
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. A through O. Agreements, A, clerk of courts.
Good morning, Commissioners, Audrey, Nancy. This is a request for an agreement with Meridian Healthcare for employee assistance program services on an as-needed basis, in the estimated amount of $2,000, general and non-general fund expenditure.
Okay, thank you so much. B, C, D, and E, EMA.
Good morning, everyone. So what we're doing is we are upgrading our EMA command posts so that it will be a portable dispatch center. So if we have problems with any of our PSAPs, we'll be able actually to pull this command center over and they'll be up and running within their community again. So this was asked by the dispatchers and some of the police chiefs. So we are moving forward with it. This is all grant money and we're beginning the process. It should be complete here very quickly. In addition to that, we have 6 portable radios that are out of life. They no longer support what the MARC system is doing, which is the statewide radio system. They can no longer support that. So we need to purchase those radios as well, which will replace some of our systems. Thank you.
Thank you. F, engineers, F and G.
Good morning, Commissioners. Letter F is a repair to one of our fleet vehicles, number 534, which is our backer truck in the amount of $736.07, non-general. Letter G is for repairs to one of our crew cab pickup trucks, number 76, in the amount of $1,246, also non-general.
Okay, thank you. H and I, jobs and family services, Audrey.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Audrey, Nancy, and Jim. Letter H, Job and Family Service Memorandum of Understanding with the Sheriff's Office for fingerprinting service per unit pricing, non-general. Letter I, Job and Family Service Amendment number 1 with Independent Radio Taxi Incorporated for non-emergent transportation services to extend until June 30th, 2023 per unit pricing, non-general. Thank you.
Thank you. J and K, recycling.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you? Item J is agreement with Valley Industrial. This is for a pallet wrapper. This will allow us to palletize and shrink wrap loose electronics and have them ready for safe shipping and loading. Item K is our agreement with Mahoning County Public Health. This is a reimbursement for their residential tire drive that we had. They are going to reimburse us some of the expenses of that, up to $9,000. They're administering this grant that's provided by Ohio EPA for mosquito control.
Okay, thank you. I, sanitary, or no, L, I'm sorry.
Good
Sanitary.
morning. Good morning, everyone. This is an agreement with Hill International Trucks LLC for repairs to our 2017 dump truck, identified as S23, and the estimated amount of $1686.31, non-general.
Okay, thank you. M, sheriffs, Joe?
Good morning, everyone. This is an agreement with Jacksonville School District for a school resource officer for the 2022-2023 school year in the amount of $19,089.25 payable to Mahoning County.
Thanks, Joe. N and O, treasurers, Danny?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Both letters N and O are requests from my office for approval of agreements with professional firms, professional services, and temporary employment services. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Number 3, agreements A through O. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 4, change orders. A, Convention and Visitors Bureau, Linda.
Good morning, everyone. Letter A is a change order with Nexstar Broadcasting, WKBN, WYTV for advertising services. We received some unanticipated discounts, so this is a reduction in the purchase order of $222.50.
I must tell you that that event at Lake Milton yesterday was phenomenal.
It's great. It's the
trail.
storybook trail they've put in there is a wonderful addition to that state park. It's the 19th storybook trail to open in the state of Ohio. all based on Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, which is a fabulous program.
It's neat.
Children 0 through 5 can sign up and receive a free book every month in the mail. Both my granddaughters are signed up. And you walk this half-mile trail at Lake Milton, and there's storyboards. And the children read the storyboards, and there's questions for them to answer, and it's very interactive. The boards will rotate among all 19 sites, so every so often the story will change. And it's a great thing, just another addition to a wonderful experience at Lake Milton State Park.
And what's great about that, it's open to all the students and the children on all school districts in Mahoning County.
Oh, yeah.
So
Open to
it's a
everyone.
great thing for our school districts to be a part of.
Yes,
And
and it
maybe
is,
before winter, have
yes,
their kids have a field trip.
it is
So,
an accessible trail, wheelchair accessible, so it's great. It's a great addition.
yeah, it was very good. Number 4, change orders A. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy
Yes. Number 1, resolutions additions. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. Number 2, resolutions. A, dog warden. Jimmy, you want to take that?
Sure, there is an appointment of a
Oh, I
part-time deputy kennel canvasser for the department.
Okay, thank you. B, engineers.
Letter B is a resolution approving a moral obligation payment in the amount of $136 to Faust Construction for replacement of some riprap stone. This was on an emergency project on Main Street in the village of New Albany. The stone was needed once the pipe was in, so we had them add that.
Okay. C, jobs and family services. Audrey.
Good morning again. Job and Family Services, this resolution is authorizing the director to give a termination notice to Faithful Patient Transportation LLC effective September 9th, 2022.
Okay. D, O and B grants.
Morning, Commissioners. Hi,
Okay,
hi. This is a resolution approving the sponsorship ad to Youngstown Business Incubator in the amount of $15,000 non-general.
okay, thank you. Sanitary. Tara.
This is a resolution certifying to the county auditor collection upon the real property tax list and the duplicate certain sewer and water service charge delinquencies in accordance with Ohio Revised Code sections 6117.02 and 6103.02.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, resolutions A through E. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes. And that concludes our business portion of the meeting. I don't know if any of our office holders are on. Danny, do you have anything, or Wayne, do you have anything else you want to add? No? Okay. Alan? Andy, do you want to explain the siren issue to us?
Yes.
I'm sorry, we can go back. Danny, do you have anything?
No, that's okay. Thanks,
Oh,
Carol.
okay.
Fine, thank you.
Andy, do you
Yeah,
want to
so,
explain that?
Yeah, again, everybody knows that we had the event over the weekend at the fair and in Boardman. The weather service had contacted us. There was a rotation going on above the fair, well, above Boardman. It was not over the fair, but above Boardman. So there was a call for weather warning in Mahoning County. And the sirens activated but did not activate. So the system activated, shows the full activation, but we only had 2 or 3 sirens go off. And again, this is part of the ongoing problem we've had with this. Everything we do, everything we're being told that could be a solution or was a problem, we've done. We've moved the entire system to one of our PSAPs, so it's manned 24 hours. Initially, they said that it possibly could have been a Wi-Fi or a internet connection. So we verified that that was taken care of at the PSAP, And again, that was not the problem this time. The company, again, we've asked for a full evaluation as to why they didn't sound. I have not gotten that back yet. They are doing that. Just so everybody knows, we contract with the company to run that system for us. And there's also another company that takes care of all the maintenance on the siren equipment and everything. So we're dealing with two companies. Again, trying to figure out why the system failed is where we're at right now. And I can promise you, there's nobody more frustrated than we are. The siren is sounding or early warning is key to safety, and we understand that. And it has just been a frustrating event as to why this is going on. Just so everybody knows, we tested the sirens the Saturday before the fair. We tested them the Monday of fair beginning, and again, we tested them on Saturday of fair time. And except for the ones that we know are inactive, which are about 8 sirens, everything else shows an activation. And we heard the activations on both Saturdays. But when it came time for the weather event, they did not sound. So again, it's just an unbelievable, frustrating thing to be going through. And again, that's why, we feel that moving on to this iPause is a much better way, a much more effective way, a much safer way to go. That doesn't mean we have to abandon the sirens. We can continue to work all that out, but certainly moving forward with iPause, we believe definitely is going to increase the safety of everyone. And we're pretty excited about it because we've been working on this for about 8 months trying to get it here. It's a FEMA-based system, and we're actually very close to it being in place.
So Andy, what is the iPause system? So
gonna
everybody
actually
knows.
Defer to Robin on that because this has
Okay.
been his baby. He's done a great job with it, and he can explain it better than I can. So I'm gonna ask him to explain how the alerting system would work.
Okay, thank
If you don't mind.
Sure. I've talked to you guys before about this. IPAWS is an acronym for Integrated Public Alert and Warning System. It's going to be based with the cell towers and again, cellular phones. The best way to describe it is it would come out as you would get an Amber Alert. And it'll hit all the phones and they'll use geofencing to identify the area that the alert's going to go out to, which would be the county and kind of the surrounding area around the borders. The licensing for this and everything has to go through FEMA. And we've had to jump through a number of hoops in order to get to where we're at right now, which any day we expect to get the certification where we can get it up and running. One of the things we found out in the process was because part of this would require us to get with a vendor in order to set up the software and everything to activate this system. And the county's current messaging system, Rave, already has this available to us. They will get online with it as soon as we get the certification, which again, we expect any day now. And hopefully we'll be testing it before the end of the month.
And that'll go out to cell phones and TV stations and radio. or
Basically,
just-
any digital media, anything that broadcasts, it should go to. Like I said, there'll be a little bit of a testing process and the system will be up and running. And I think it'll be great. The thing is, how I came upon this was last spring, last winter, as we were encountering problems with the sirens. I was talking to EPA or EMA in one of the other counties, and they said, hey, we really don't use the sirens. We have this IPAWS system. So that's where it started. And I started to investigate it and go through the process of obtaining it. And so as Andy said, it has taken us some time to get to where we're at right now, which again, we hope it comes up any day now. But we're very excited about it and the prospects that it'll really take over as something everybody will look to for these warnings and alerts in the future. The other feature, which I'm only going to touch on, is that it'll allow other jurisdictions and other agencies within the county to set up subscriber-based messaging. In other words, if one of the townships wants to alert their residents to the fact there's a road closed or there's a boil alert for water, something that might affect their residents in a particular neighborhood, if they are subscribed to the service, that they would be able to send a message out to them. So it'll also have that ability as well. But the primary thing for us, again, is the weather warning and disaster alerts.
That'll be a great addition to Mahoning County for the
Well,
residents.
We're also excited about the fact that the system is already in place. All we have to do is activate it. We were talking to vendors and the cost for this was going to be in the $30,000 to $50,000 range annually. And to find out we already have it, it's just a matter of activating it within the current messaging system the county has. We saw, considerable savings there.
Oh, that's great. You'll keep us posted when you're gonna
Oh,
activate.
absolutely. We're excited about being able to announce it and then start the testing process.
Now the sirens will then be decommissioned, or will they be
So
continued?
We have to decide that. And again, we want to run them simultaneously for a while.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we can have confidence in the system working before we do that. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have any confidence in the sirens. So again, one of the messages we'd like to get out to everybody is until these things are up and running, please be cognizant that these are unreliable at this point. Please watch the weather. If you see these heavy rains or these heavy winds or these potentials, please keep tuned to the local channels. They do a great job of getting these messages out. So the big message we have right now to the residents is please be vigilant and watch. When you see in weather events, make sure you're getting on and watching the channels, listening to current channels. I know right now the cable system, if you're on certain channels, you won't get that. So just maybe tune in once in a while, make sure that there's no warnings up. But our plan right now is to certainly run these two systems simultaneously. We continue to investigate and put money into the siren system. We're not abandoning that at this point. There may be a time where we decide that's a better move, but that's not what we're doing at this time.
So is there equipment, do we still have vendors that could give you fixes to this siren, or
So
there's no?
we're asking a third party to come in and do the evaluation of the system that we have. Because we've had two failures now, obviously that's unacceptable. So there is going to be a third party come in and take a look at this and find out exactly what their opinion on what's going on and what's not.
And then you'll keep us posted on that
Absolutely.
as well.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anthony, you have
No,
anything?
I appreciate you addressing it. I got some calls this week. I'm sure we all did. And I appreciate you not wanting to abandon the sirens. I know people are tuned to listen for that. So in your evaluation, continue to look at keeping those sirens, maybe somewhere in the rural areas where, people are used to that. But with respect to the IPOS, Chief, does that come over somewhat like the EMS system on your TV? That nasty sound comes on, the station stops.
It comes on
That's
here.
that's correct.
Is that what it would
Yeah,
be?
it's like an amp.
It's actually an outgrowth of, for those of you who remember the EBS alerts that would come on your TV and that. It's a very similar system. It's an outgrowth of that. Historically, it actually goes back to the old civil defense and Conrad system that goes back into the 50s, early 60s. So it will attack and again have the ability to go after all digital media to the point we may even be able to get it up on like digital billboards and things of that nature as well. So it's about the best system for blanketing the community with that information that's out there.
If I could add 2 points, if you don't mind. Number one is you don't have to subscribe to this. It blasts the phones and media automatically. So it's not as if, right now, if you want a weather channel to give you something, you have to subscribe to it. This will blast that automatically. And also anybody traveling in our area or in our area that is not from here, anything that hits our cell towers will automatically be given that information. So for instance, over the weekend, all visitors at the fair would have received that same information. So again, a lot of positive things about this. It's going to alert a lot more folks. And the other issue too, I know some folks we had talked to, they're concerned because obviously they can't hear the weather sirens at night while they're sleeping and they don't take their phones into their room or they put it on silent. One of the other good old fashioned ways to be alerted is a weather radio. They're very cheap, they're very effective, and they are a great way for somebody that wants to have extra protection to be able to buy these radios. And again, they're very, very reasonable. They sit in your house and you don't hear them unless a warning goes off. So just another avenue to go for the folks.
So where would they purchase those?
You can get them on Amazon. I think you can still get them locally even. Yeah, they're like $10 or $15. They're very, very reasonable. And again, they do a great job of alerting. So again, just another avenue, especially for our older folks in the communities who may not be up on the technology of phones and all that. As long as you can receive text, you'll get these alerts. But again, just a peace of mind for $10, $15. It's probably a good thing to have in your home. Thank you.
I bet if you buy bulk, it'd be a lot cheaper. Okay, any questions for that? Any questions for Andy after the two chiefs? Okay, hearing none. Anybody else have anything to add? Okay. At that point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes, and our next meeting will be Thursday, September 15th, 10 a.m. right here in the hearing room. So thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks, Chief.